All right, good afternoon. Today's webinar will be recorded to send out to our full chamber membership. In this webinar, if you are confused or concerned about your options for health insurance for you and your employees, then this webinar will be helpful for you. I'm so glad you have joined us for a brief webinar to learn about various options, including innovative telemedicine plans endorsed by the Sanford Chamber of Commerce. Our presenter today is Mike Harris. Mike is a native North Carolina guy. He grew up in Eden, North Carolina, and attended UNC Chapel Hill. He spent 8 years in banking and then 35 years in the insurance industry. Mike is married to Lisa. They have 6 children and 12 grandchildren. He is an elder at Grace Raleigh, is active in various nonprofits, and has worked with many chambers of commerce over the years. Mike said he's not a complicated guy, and I can certainly attest that that is true. He has been very easy to work with, and I'm glad that we have an opportunity to partner with him. So Mike, I'm going to let you take it away.
Thank you, Meg, and welcome to everybody today. I want to take just a few minutes, as Meg says, to talk about where we are in terms of the Affordable Care Act as it exists today, better known as Obamacare, and the options that are available for employees that do not have group insurance. As we all know, the cost of insurance has gone up dramatically over the last 6 years. And we'll get into some more specifics on that in just a minute. I want to talk briefly about my company and myself. Meg, great job of introducing me, and thank you. But I have been working for over 35 years in the insurance industry and have worked almost exclusively in the small business market, professionals, and individuals. My work is pretty simple. I work to identify needs not only in estate planning and business planning, but also in medical expense and long-term care, identifying those needs and coming up with solutions that will help you as you move forward in your financial plan. Today's topic, as I said, we're going to talk about the future of health insurance some, and we're going to talk also about your insurance options for 2021 and things you should be considering. We're going to also talk a little bit about telemedicine, which is kind of the up-and-coming thing for individuals. As we've gone through the pandemic and as we move forward, I think telemedicine is going to be a very hot topic. We're also going to talk a little bit about ancillary benefits, the additional things that you may want or need to meet specific health and individual needs. As we talk about the future of health insurance, it is, like I say, it has gone up significantly in the last 6 years. And people tend to think they have just limited options on what they're able to do. The ACA Act was passed in 2010. It was very, very rigid and very exact and left you, quite frankly, with only one option to consider anything past 90 days, which was to go into a Affordable Act plan that, quite frankly, was not affordable and had very, very high deductibles. Over the last 10 years, we've seen modifications, which has allowed individuals without health insurance to go into the marketplace and look at coverages that may be available for them. They've also done away with the penalty of not having an ACA plan, which has been a lifesaver to many because they felt they had the obligation to go into an Obamacare plan at significantly higher rates or pay a penalty based on their income. I think it was 2017, beginning in fiscal year 2018, that penalty went away and made a wonderful move to help individuals. The future, just to be absolutely honest with you, we're going to talk about that a little bit, but with the election last week We're not sure what changes are going to come about from that and what the future actually holds, but we're basing it on where we are today and looking at the options that are available for you at this point in time. Of course, as we've talked about, you have options that are available for you. You have the ACA plans. Most are issued in the state of North Carolina by Blue Cross. There are a couple other carriers, depending on the county you're in, that have plans that are available. The plan designs typically are higher deductible plans, but also they do give you a preventive benefit. They give you doctor copays in most situations and a drug plan. For children, it offers also an eye benefit to have their eyes examined every year. But as I said, those options tend to be extremely expensive. We are finding more and more people saying, I cannot afford to go into one of the ACA plans because not only is the premium high, but my deductible and my out-of-pocket maximum is extremely high as well. We also have to think about the other side of the coin. We think about health information that you may have. All of us have something wrong with us. Some have more wrong than others. And many, you can go into the ACA plans without any underwriting. In other words, no medical questions are asked and there are no pre-existing conditions. So you don't have to worry about anything. You sign up, you have a plan for a year. The Blue Cross plans tend to have limited networks. This year, it's my understanding they're using the UNC networks, which in most situations is okay, but if your doctors are Duke doctors, this year you could go to your doctors. Next year, you're going to have to change doctors. So that always causes a little bit of nightmares to those that are a part of those plans. The second option that you have is religious-based plans. And we see the advertisements and we hear the commercials on the radio and see them on TV for organizations like MediShare and other organizations that have a religious background. I want to emphasize these are very good plans, but they are not insurance plans. They are referred to as cost-sharing plans. And they are very good plans, but on the front end, their underwriting is stiffer because they get into some lifestyle things, such things as use of tobacco, use of alcohol. Each plan's a little different. Some will say, you use tobacco, we do not want you. Some will say, if you use alcohol, we do not want you. Even that casual glass of wine a couple nights a week would eliminate you from having this coverage. The cost sharing benefit says when you go in the hospital, the bills are submitted, let's say, to a MediShare, and the dollars that they've collected are used to pay the benefits. Now, that sounds like insurance, and in many cases, it is like insurance, but it does not fall under the same rigid guidelines that's put in place by the Department of Insurance or anybody like that. So we've had very good success in having bills paid, but you do not have the backing of the Department of Insurance or any other bonding situation. I am comfortable with them, and if a client says that's what I want, we can find what they need. The next option is private insurance plans. These are plans that's been around for a long time, and these plans allow you to purchase health insurance and pretty much structure it the way you want to structure it. If you simply want a high deductible plan and not concerned about getting a strep throat and needing to go to the doctor for it, and you really are not concerned about the preventive care, then you can purchase a plan that will be significantly cheaper than the ACA plans. You can also purchase plans that will give you the doctor copays, it'll give you a drug card, and it will give you all kinds of as we refer to, bells and whistles to take care of your needs depending on what they may be. These plans are underwritten by insurance companies and can be from anywhere from just a couple of months all the way to 3-year plans. Some flexibility we've not had until just the last couple of years. So you can purchase a plan. The insurance company is on the hook for 3 years of coverage. You have the ability at any point in time, say you take a job that offers benefits, or you decide in your own company to begin offering benefits, then you can opt out of the plan at any point in time. We are finding people are signing up for these and, quite frankly, finding great comfort in knowing that coverage is in place, and no matter what happens with Obamacare over the next couple of years, they have their coverage in place and do not have to worry or do not have to make changes to an ACA plan for the 3-year period. These plans are underwritten, so we will ask medical questions with these plans. And the medical questions are not overly concerned about if you've had a cold in the last 90 days, but we're looking at the big stuff. We're looking at cancer, we're looking at heart, we're looking at kidney, diabetes, things like that, the big things. And to be honest with you, if you have some of that, and if you've had cancer, let's say in the last couple of years, we would shop for you, but would probably recommend the ACA plans for you. So since 2016, we've expanded from having one option, the ACA plans, to having 3 different options. One of the things that's become a very hot topic, and it was beginning to be hot before the pandemic, but since the pandemic, it has become the concern of everyone to walk into a doctor's office and have to deal with not only being sick yourself, but sitting there with sick people and waiting an extended period of time. And if you're able to work, losing time at work, losing all kinds of productive time, as well as being there with sick people. The telemedicine program's been around about 5 years. And the one that we work most closely with is one called RelyMD. It's out of Cary. It has been in business for 4 years. And the plan basically uses technology, whether it be your smartphone, whether it be a computer or an iPad or something like that. And 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you can be face-to-face with a board-certified doctor right here in the Triangle area, and they deal with your medical concern. And the examination is done basically the same thing your primary care doctor does. They ask you what brings you here today. You say, I have a sore throat, I have a fever, and you give them the symptoms. They will ask you other questions. Are there any drug allergies? Have you had this before? Is this a first time occurrence, or is this something that's recurrent in nature? What is the background and what gets you to this point today? And they will come to a diagnosis, confirm the diagnosis with you, and if necessary, can get a prescription in your hand or to your pharmacy within about 20 minutes. So from the minute you requested an appointment on your smartphone to the time you have been diagnosed and a prescription is ready for you at Walgreens, it's usually about 30 minutes. And that's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Of course, the pharmacy's got to be open, but you can see the doctor 24 hours a day. They guarantee a 10-minute wait, so you are in front of a doctor within 10 minutes. This is something that in most individual plans is not a part of an insurance plan. A lot of the group plans do have the telemedicine piece, but typically the telemedicine piece that's a part of a Blue Cross or United Healthcare plan, they are using syndicates of doctors or retired doctors or PAs that could be located anywhere across the country. Some have the ability to do prescriptions. Some can simply say, yes, you need to go to the doctor for that, but cannot do anything to help you. The one thing about the RelyMD plan is that you are dealing with board certified doctors. We've actually had situations where your child is having some pains in their lower abdomen on the right side. It's 10 o'clock at night. Do you want to load everybody up and take them to the emergency room? And they can say, yep, I think it's appendicitis. The best emergency room for you to get to that's close to you is such and such and such and such. And they will take care of the triage for you and get you basically, as I refer to, into the back door of the emergency room. And you're able to see a physician quickly and have the surgery that may be needed. The premium for something like this is very low, typically in the $8 to $10 a month range. And I'm finding a lot of companies in that one employee to 10 employee range. They're saying, we cannot afford health insurance, but we sure can afford $10 a month per employee to help them in their medical, their basic medical needs. The $10 monthly fee covers the employee and their families. So you can have spouse and 6 children on it, or in my situation, 6 children and 12 grandchildren if necessary, but you can cover your entire family. And at the time of service, there is a low fee, usually $10 that you would pay. Many refer to it as a copay. It's just a fee. There's nothing is filed against insurance. So you figure one doctor visit a year to go in for the strep throat is probably going to run you $100 to $150, just one visit. You can have this service for your entire family. You can have it at a very low monthly premium of, say, $10 a month, and only pay $10 when you use the service. So you're easily covering the expense of just one visit and could have multiple visits as you go forward. So this is a very important piece, especially if you are employing younger workers who do everything on their computer. They do their banking, they do their communication, they do their social media, and they would like to see their doctors using a telemedicine program. We older folks are buying into this. We're beginning to use it. It is becoming a part of Medicare. It's becoming a part of a lot of other pieces of the puzzle that people are wanting because of the pandemic. It's wanted us, we do not want to go into the doctor's office, to be absolutely honest with you. As you want more information on this, this is the RelyMD website, and you can go there, just RelyMDMD.com, and feel free to reach out to me. We'll give you some contact information at the end. There are other benefits to be thinking about as you go through this and as you contemplate what your needs may be. I'm not going to touch on these in any great extent, but the first one is a fixed indemnity plan. Instead of a true major medical plan where it covers 80% of your expenses till you've paid X number of dollars out of pocket and then 100%, the fixed indemnity plans say, you go to the doctor and we'll reimburse you $25. You go in the hospital, we'll give you $150 a day for 10 days. It's a fixed benefit no matter what's done or the cost of the service. It's something some people are doing in conjunction with a high deductible plan to help them with the doctor visits on the front end. The second piece that many of us who worked in corporate America, we got very accustomed to having things like dental and vision care. We have plans through various carriers that can provide a quality dental plan, similar to whatever group plan you may have had along the way, as well as a vision benefit that provides for an exam and for glasses and for contacts, depending on how much you're wanting in terms of benefit, it all will guide what it costs. But many people are taking advantage of the dental and vision plans. The next thing that a lot of folks have to think about when you're not under that corporate umbrella is life insurance. Many companies that you work for will provide you some amount of life insurance. Sometimes it's a fixed amount, sometimes it's some multiple of your income, but they are providing something in terms of life insurance. But when you work for yourself or in a small business, you may not have this piece. So it's important that you take into consideration whatever needs you may have for life insurance. And the next piece goes right along with it, the disability income protection. It's all based on your earnings. And if you become sick or if you're injured, not on the job, it does cover it if you're on the job, but on the job or away from the job, 24-hour coverage, it provides a disability benefit or an income stream for you. Many of the older employees are looking at long-term care insurance, and it's providing that care as you age that may be needed, whether it be in home or in some facility. There's many tax advantages, and many people in their 50s who own their own business are taking advantage of the tax laws to be able to deduct a significant portion of their premium while also collecting benefits someday tax-free. That is one of those things that it's important to look at as you go forward. And we're also finding many people still working that have become eligible for Medicare. They have reached 65 and have no idea what they have to do in terms of Medicare and the eligibility part of A and B, but also there's other parts of Medicare, whether it be a supplement, whether it be a drug plan, whether it be some type of Medicare Advantage plan that they need to be thinking of. And there's a short window of time for them to do it, irrelevant of their health concerns. So that basically covers what we wanted to talk about today. This last page here gives you some contact information for me. If you have an interest in just talking and wanting to discuss your particular situation, I hope you'll feel free to give me a call or drop me an email, and we will walk through what we can do to help you once we hear more about your situation. I'll open it now for any questions.
Well, Mike, I want to thank you very much for being so concise with a lot of information. You were really able to pull that into 20 minutes, so I appreciate it. And I do have a question for you, going back to the RelyMD telemedicine plans, and you mentioned smaller employers with 1 to 10 employees, and the difficulty of providing them a full-blown healthcare plan, but the ability for them to offer the RelyMD telemedicine plan. So my question is, would you also recommend it for larger employers?
Absolutely. What we find with larger employees, it's a part of a group plan already. I am not a fan of what a United Health or a Blue Cross includes in their plan, because they're using doctor networks and things like that that may be in Phoenix or San Francisco or Minnesota that have no clue of what's going on in our local area and cannot help you in some situations with medications you may need or getting you to the proper hospital that you may need care immediately for.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody else? Go ahead, Heather.
Yeah, so I do. I have a few questions, and I've been doing a lot of research, and we've also had experience. We're a small employer in Sanford, and when the whole Affordable Care Act came through, it was way far from affordable. So unfortunately we had to drop our employer-based our insurance that we provided to our employees. So I currently am on one of the religious-based plans, but have been looking at the private insurance plans, and then also trying to find if it's a good time to jump back into employer, offering insurance for our employers. Given the political climate, I'm not really sure it's going to stabilize anytime soon. But so, are you familiar with the ICHRA, which is the individual coverage health reimbursement arrangements at all? It's relatively new.
Yes, and there's some limitations, and I'm not familiar with all of them as to what we can actually do in North Carolina.
Yeah.
The legislature passed some legislation back last year, 2019, which involved that, as well as organizations like Chamber of Commerce and things like that offering a benefit to their employees with health insurance. The governor never signed the bill, and the Department of Insurance has yet to indicate any guidelines or anything like that. So we're really kind of stuck right now, not knowing what the future of that is in North Carolina.
Okay, so when you're talking about the Chamber of Commerce offering, that's what I'm familiar with. The term is association health plans.
That's correct. Yes.
Okay, gotcha. So both the ICHRA, the individual coverage health reimbursement arrangement, and the AHP are in limbo right now.
That's exactly right.
Okay, yeah.
And what it comes down to, I think, it's my understanding, if you start reimbursing employees or giving them X number of dollars to go towards their health insurance, it has to be something you do for everybody, or then you bring in ERISA and it becomes a discrimination issue, and it turns into a nightmare is what it does right now without exact rulings from the Department of Insurance.
Okay, gotcha. Do you think from a state level, do you think any of this will be cleared up anytime soon?
That's a very good question. I was having conversation with a guy by the name of Paul Coble about a month ago. Paul is a former insurance guy. He's now the director of legislative services. And he seems to think, and the election kind of went the way we had thought in North Carolina for the legislature. He seemed to think in the 21 session, we might get some clarification and some guidance, as well as some fairly innovative approaches. So we'll be watching that closely.
Okay, gotcha. And then one other question. So the telemedicine, it's brilliant and it's great, and it just keeps costs down, which is great. Do you find that employers are coupling telemedicine options with maybe a accident / catastrophic type? Not anything on the marketplace, because that's way too expensive, but a catastrophic type plan with the telemedicine.
Yes. Now, what we were talking about earlier when we were talking about the catastrophic that's purchased by individuals, we can pair that with the RelyMD plan. That's easy to do, or any telemedicine plan. And you would offer the telemedicine piece as an employer, and then the employee would purchase their own health insurance and make their own decisions as to what they want from a health insurance.
Got it. Okay. So I think those are all the questions that I have. Mike, thank you so much for presenting this. This has been very helpful.
Thank you. And I do want to emphasize, feel free to give me a call. Be glad to walk through situations with you. We can handle a lot by phone and by email, and can meet in person if you so desire.
All right, Mike, thank you so much. Heather, thank you for asking some great questions. Mike, we appreciate your time. And as I mentioned, this is being recorded for chamber members. So if anyone has any questions, Mike's number and email are obviously up on the screen, or you can certainly reach out to me at the Chamber of Commerce, and we will make that connection for you. So thank you. Everyone have a great day.